Good morning. Let me see if I can hit the back of the room without the microphone. I can work hands-free here. Can you hear me in the back okay? Yeah. All right. Give yourselves a big round of applause for being here, everybody. Saturday morning at a golf course. Here we are. Old technology. People getting together in a room. This is actually me up here. I'm actually here talking to you. This is real. No net, no notes. No place to hide at a golf course that was just, I think, bought this week by the Saudis. Didn't that happen? I seem to have heard the Saudi Arabia bought golf this week. Did you guys hear that? The PGA and LIV merged. The Saudis bought the PGA. It's crazy. Phil Mickelson's a very happy guy today. Almost a billionaire. So we're here to support Michael Brunholzer this morning. Let's give Michael a big round of applause. I was honored when Michael asked me to come out here this morning in open forum and warm up the crowd a little bit. We'll see how we do with that. Michael's been working super hard. He reminds me of myself when I was a younger man, working really hard to get good at public speaking. How many of you here in Toastmasters? Few people. How many of you have heard of Toastmasters? Yeah, so Toastmasters is a public speaking club. It's a great place to sort of conquer your fear, and it's a great place to get better and better and better. And it's been great for me. I started at Toastmasters 20 or 22 years ago, went on to open a comedy club, won the San Francisco Comedy Convention, toured one-person shows all over North America. And it all started in rooms like this with, 15, 20 people. This is where you work things out. This is where you get better. And you get up on stage and you do things over and over again, over and over again. Every audience is different. And I like to think we're just having a conversation with the audience. Oh my God, Jonah Hill is here. Ladies and gentlemen, stand up, would you? The thin version of Jonah Hill. Turn around, let the people see you. I just realized, Jonah Hill, everybody. Loved you in Moneyball. Loved you in Moneyball. I'm excited to be here today. Oh my God, golf. I was just thinking, Donald Trump buried his ex-wife on his golf course. Right? Did you know that? Ivana died like 6 months ago. And he buried her on his golf course in New Jersey, because if you make New Jersey has a law that says if you turn your golf course into a cemetery, you get a tax deduction. I'm not even making that up. So they buried her there. They call it the 19th hole. That's a good joke right there. I don't care who you are. See, Jonah Hill knows. He knows a good joke when he hears one. So I'm excited. June 10th is a really important day in my life, because my wife and I actually graduated from high school 46 years ago today. And I've actually known my wife since the 6th grade. Can you believe that? True story. And we've been married for like 41, 42 years. And we grew up in a little town in Vermont, 4,000 people. And Julie moved to our town in the 6th grade. And this little town in Vermont is such a backwater. She moved up from New Jersey to this little town. And she walks into the 6th grade, and I looked, and I just thought to myself, wow, teeth. She had more teeth in her one mouth than our entire class had combined. And I was so impressed. And she went on to become like the valedictorian of our high school. Can you imagine being married to the valedictorian for like 40 years? Because she's perfect in every way. Everyone loves Julie. She never makes a mistake. Never does anything wrong. 46 years I've been waiting for her to, really screw up. And this week it happened. She paid $359 to have the cat's teeth brushed. And her point is that I'm like, she can't believe that I questioned this particular expenditure. And she says, but periodontal disease is the leading cause of infection among our feline companions. That's her point. My point? It's a cat. It doesn't even smile. But other than that, that's the only thing she's done wrong. And we got out of high school, and Julie, being valedictorian, she went off to college. She majored in business administration. My first job out of high school, selling vacuum cleaners door to door for Electrolux. How many of you heard of Electrolux vacuum cleaners? So in 1977, there were 12,000 people knocking on doors in North America selling vacuum cleaners door to door. And I grew up in a very poor family, didn't have any money, and there was an ad in the paper that says, you want a job or an opportunity? I'm like, I want an opportunity. I went down there. And I knocked on my first door in 1977. I sold a standard hose for $29.95 and got a $9 commission in 1977. That is like an ocean of money. And that's when I realized that I was going to be fine for the rest of my life, that I could just get money. And I averaged one machine a day. Made $50,000 my first year out of high school. I'm not even making that up. And everything I learned about sales and marketing and business, everything I know about sales and marketing and business, I've been an entrepreneur for like 40 years, everything I know, I learned during that year and a half with Electrolux. And you just go up and you knock on the door and like, hi, Mrs. Jones, I'm Mark. Electrolux sent me down here to show you the latest in home care and cleaning. How's that sound? She's like, oh, well, I've already got an Electrolux. I'm like, well, it's been a good machine for you, hasn't it? It's been a good machine. I'm already talking about her old machine in the past tense, like she's already traded it in, right? You need any bags? No. Brushes? No. Shampoo? No. And giving her a chance to get all these no's out of her system. Because they taught me down there at Electrolux. It doesn't matter what you want in life, you're always some unknown number of no's away from yes. I finally get in the door, and I look around. I'm like, huh, when's the last time you vacuumed? And she's very self-conscious. You know what I learned? The cleaner the house, the easier it is to sell a vacuum cleaner. If the house is filthy, you have no chance because they don't care about the dirt. So I get her old machine out, and I vacuum the floor with it, and I find like 5 grains of sand. And she's like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I'm like, yeah, you didn't know you're living in these conditions, did you? let me show you. She goes, that's when she asked the wrong question. How much are they these days? $359.95. She goes, oh my God, that's a lot of money for a vacuum cleaner. 1977. I said, yeah, I know. Let me show you something else. I vacuumed the couch and I found a little dirt there. She goes, oh my God. I'm like, yeah, where's the bedroom? We've known each other for like 15 minutes. She's following me to the bedroom. I rip down the sheets and whip out my power nozzle. That's okay. You can laugh at that. It's fine. And I vacuum the mattress. And you know what? There's just years' worth of dead skin in the mattress. In every mattress. Moist, sticky, wet, disgusting. $359.95. She goes, oh, I got to talk to my husband. I'm like, well, did he talk to you before he bought that John Deere out in the garage? Well, it turns out Mrs. Jones has a coffee can. $359.95 right there. God bless America. And I take that old machine and clean it up, shine it up, sell it to a ski area, restaurant, hotel for $200. Make $320 on a $360 sale. God bless America. So here we are. You know LeBron James got married here? Yeah, they haven't changed the light bulb since. 5-star resort, ladies and gentlemen. Light bulbs are out. Michael, you ready to come up here in a couple of minutes? So I met Michael at Hi-Fi Speakers, which is a club that meets at noon in Del Mar. And he stops by every Thursday religiously. And he is working really hard on his stuff. And Michael imagines a world in which he's doing versions of what he's going to do here today for thousands of people all over the place. And I've been fortunate enough to live that life, to be able to get on a stage, run my mouth in a lot of different settings, not for thousands of people, but for hundreds. And it's a really hard thing to do. Those of you who are in Toastmasters know. And so this is a really important day for Michael because it's an extended event. He's been working on things in pieces, for a period of weeks, putting things together. We were here Wednesday just walking around the room, getting to know the room, imagining what things were going to feel like when you guys were here. And, the tech and the sound and all the things that go with producing an event, making sure the video is working, the lighting is working. This is real life. This is happening today. And again, give yourselves another big round of applause for being here, because it is increasingly very difficult to get people to come out from behind their screens to a live event. But that said, there is nothing better than being in the room with the people and having a nice conversation together, and you guys converse by laughing and crying and pin drop silence and all the things people in an audience are meant to do. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, the lovely and talented Michael Brunholzl. Let's give him a big round of applause.
This one for the book, man. This shit is as fun as it looks, man. I'm really trying to make it more than what it is, because everybody dies, but not everybody lives.
We're here. This is happening.
Who knew this was going to happen? I certainly didn't 11 months ago. 11 months ago, I couldn't even fathom the idea of hosting my own event. Speaking here on stage to all of you. Wow. Just taking it all in. Now, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Michael Vincent Brunholzl. I grew up here in Carmel Valley, went to Torrey Pines High School. It's safe to say those weren't my best years. I didn't get the best grades, didn't have the choice of college of where I could go to. I went to Mesa, was there for a semester. Didn't really like the whole education thing. Spoke to my dad, he has a real estate brokerage. Said, hey, can I come work with you, get my real estate license? And that's what I did. And that's what I've been doing for the last 7, 8 years. And 11 months ago, something happened. 11 months ago, I had two properties listed. And I was going to go to this real estate caravan and pitch the properties. And for those of you who don't know what a real estate caravan is, it's where realtors and affiliates get together and they share about properties that are on the market, coming soon, rentals, and to network. So it's Tuesday morning. I'm at the Devonte's at the Delmar Highlands, one of my favorite restaurants. There was no one there, just the realtors and affiliates. And I get there, this was 11 months ago, shy, uncomfortable with myself, insecure. So I'm meeting a few people, just saying the minimal words possible. The meeting starts. People go up, present their properties, they do their pitch. And the host of the meeting says, does anyone else have any other properties they'd like to share? Please raise your hand. And I was sitting there, I knew that I was there to pitch those properties. But I was so nervous. I had so much anxiety. I couldn't raise my hand. I couldn't do it. And I left there and I was like, oh, okay, this is fine, because no one knew I was going to come and present, so we're all good. I get in the car. I was so disappointed in myself. Just so upset. Like, gosh, how did I just hit a wall and I couldn't push through it? I've always gone through adversity and come out on the other side. But this time was different. It was hard. I had to dig deep and I wasn't willing to do that. So I went home, told my beautiful fiance Mariella about it. I was upset with myself, disappointed. But then a thought came to my mind. This offered a great opportunity. An opportunity for me to grow, for me to dig deep, to test myself, push myself, and overcome this fear of public speaking. So a couple days later, I ended up going to my first Toastmasters meeting. And for those of you who don't know what Toastmasters is, it's a group where people get together and they practice their public speaking skills. So I go to this meeting, 7 a.m. on a Friday morning, and I walk in, and the host of the meeting, this gentleman right here, Mike Norris, he's there at the front of the room, and he says, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead, 7 a.m., we're going to go ahead and kick off the meeting. Please take your seats. Oh, it looks like we have a young man that just walked in. Young man, why don't you come on up here and introduce yourself and conquer that fear of public speaking. Puts the mic in my face. Okay, right now, okay. Hi, I'm Michael. I went to a real estate meeting and I couldn't get up in front of people and speak. I'm here to improve my public speaking skills. And I rush off. And I just feel the best sigh of relief that that was over. And I'm seated now and I can just observe the rest of the meeting. But I felt that much better because I went up there and did it. So that made me feel good. So I came back the next week and got that much better again. And week after week, I kept coming, just getting that much better every time. And after 6 months, I started giving speeches, and people were saying to me, wow, you've grown so much, geez. And I was like, really? It didn't even dawn on me because I was just focused right here. So I got comfortable with that club. I got comfortable being in front of those people. And I decided I wanted to take it a little further. So I went out to a different club, a whole new set of people, and went and gave a speech. And that brought me right back to the first day, 6 months before, how I felt, because I was in front of new people. It shocked me again. And then it turned to 5 meetings a week, 7 meetings a week, 9 meetings in 1 week, giving speeches all throughout San Diego, because I was just focused on this right here. Take it further and further and further and keep going. And that's why we're here today, doing an event, putting on my own event, speaking for an hour to all of you, because I want to take it further. I kind of hit a baseline of going 7, 9 meetings a week. I was comfortable with that. 5 to 7 minute speeches, that's fine. But here we are, taking it that much further. Maybe that much, but we'll see. So here we are today. I developed my communication skills and also my own mind. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring to your attention this quote by Jim Rohn. He says, take advantage of every opportunity to practice your communication skills so that when important occasions arise, you have the gift, the style, the sharpness, the clarity, and the emotions to affect other people. Because you guys don't know when opportunity may strike. It's important that you develop these skills. We're going to go over some things here about communication, how important it is. Because the truth is, you are a public speaker. You may not be coming on stage, talking in front of people, in front of audiences, delivering a message, but in your everyday life, you are public speaking. Don't get fooled by that. Your communication is so important in your success. Now, why is communication important? Is your ability to express yourself and deliver information, building relationships. How can you even have a relationship if you don't communicate? Right? I'm sure the married people, everyone in here. Resolving conflicts, teamwork and collaboration, and it creates understanding and empathy. Communication is vitally important in whatever it is that you're doing. Family life, personal life, business life. Communication is literally a representation of you. How you communicate. Now, how can you improve your speaking skills? Think before you speak. And don't be fooled. This may be simple, but actually consider thinking before you speak and how you want to say it. Because it's not just what you say, it's how you say it. Use less filler words. That's something we're very familiar with at Toastmasters. We have an counter who rings a bell every time you say, you know, like, all these filler words. Because you don't like to be in a conversation with someone and they're using all, yeah, you see over there that day, like, you know, it's all these extra words that are not necessary in you communicating your point. So use pauses rather than filler words. Body language. Body language is essential in how you communicate. Did you know 55% of communication is in your body language? If I didn't even say anything today and I just got up here, you are already communicating with me by how I'm expressing myself in my body language. Body language is so important. Tonality and vocal variety. So there's 55% communication was in body language, 38% is in your tone of voice. How are you speaking to someone? Hey, everyone knows what this voice is like. Oh, I'm just having a really hard day. Right? How you are saying what you are saying is 38% of communication. Now, how can you improve your listening skills? Communication is not a one-way street, folks. No one likes to just be involved in a conversation where someone's just talking the whole time. You have to go back and forth, speaking and listening. It's a two-way street. So how can you improve your listening skills? Be present. Be present in the conversation. Be engaged. Be interested in what that person is saying. Because we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. You hear with your ears. You listen with your emotions. Because I can be talking today, and you can hear my voice right here on this line. You hear me speaking, but your mind can go up here on a thought trip, getting emotional about something in your own head while I'm talking the whole time. So be aware of that. Now avoid assumptions and judgments. Avoid assumptions and judgments. It may be so simple, but really consider this and think about this and implement this in your everyday life. Ask clarifying questions. Practice empathy and understanding. These are essential in listening, because if you aren't doing any of this, the person that you're talking to is not going to be interested in continuing to talk to you. Now, before we move forward, I will say, pay particularly close attention today, because there may be a time throughout the meeting that I may call on you to share one thing that you learned, one thing that stood out to you, one thing that impacted you. And I'm going to call on 3 people at some point throughout the meeting. Okay? Now the biggest problem is, we are not listening to understand. We are listening to reply. Why? Actually consider what the other person is saying. Sometimes people just want to talk and just be heard. They don't want to hear what you have to say. They want you to hear what they have to say and understand it. Then you can reply. But most of the times, people are just listening to just say what they want to say. Right? Now let's talk about getting comfortable with speaking. Because I'm sure most of you, when I said that I would call on 3 people, their stomach dropped in their chair. That was the first thing that I learned 2-3 weeks into Toastmasters of developing my public speaking skills, my communication skills, was that everyone that was coming on stage, they were showing us how comfortable they were with themselves. It's the truth, folks. How comfortable are you with yourself to come up here and say what you have to say? Say your one thing that you took from today? Are you okay to do that? Well, let's talk about that. How can you manage that nervousness? Let's go over some techniques for you to manage this nervousness. Breathing. When you feel that nervousness, your body goes into the stress response. Start to breathe really shallow. Oh my gosh. Take deep breaths. Slow your breathing down. Calm yourself down. Tell yourself, this is comfortable. I'm just talking. But if you were outside of this door talking to one person, you'd be fine. What difference is it? Maybe there's people here. People may judge you. That's none of your business. I realized that early on. 2-3 weeks in. What anyone else thinks in the audience is none of my business. What my focus is coming up here and saying what I want to say. Now let's go over these one more time. How can you improve your speaking skills? Think before you speak. Use less filler words. Use pauses. Body language. Tonality, vocal variety. And listening. Be present. Avoid assumptions and judgments. Ask clarifying questions. Practice empathy and understanding. Breathe, pause and think. Use positive self-talk. Visualize and understand that you are not alone. Because you all may be feeling nervous right now. But think about what you want to say. Pause. There's no rush when you're up here. Relax. Express yourself. It'll be over. Use positive self-talk. Visualize. Are you visualizing yourself when you come up here? All nervous, shaking, not able to get the words out? Visualize yourself being up here, being poised, being confident, and getting what you have to say out. Visualization is crucial in your success. Because think about it. If you visualize it, you have now created neurons of that experience. Put yourself here calm, confident, and comfortable. And understand that you are not alone. I guarantee you every single person in here right now is extremely nervous and uncomfortable with the idea of them coming up and speaking in front of people that they may not know. Now, I'm going to call on 3 people that are going to come up here and share one thing that they learned from the communication section. Now, the first person is going to be I'm joking. Oh, man. Relax, it's going to be okay. Now, the feeling that you all just felt, I felt that every time I went to speak over the last 11 months. Really think about that. When I was at my first Toastmasters meeting, I hit a wall. I was so nervous. I hit that wall and I broke through that much. I pushed the wall just a little. Each time I went and spoke, it was pushing it that much more. He goes, Michael, that's your paradigm talking to you. What? What's this guy talking about, paradigm? He said, it's a 12-month program. The information can change your life. And it's $7,500. I was like, get out of here. That's ridiculous. I was ready to pay $500, $1,000, whatever. But $7,500? Well, who's buying this stuff? And I thought about it. I really thought about it. And I was like, gosh, I'm really struggling right now. I really want to grow and change my life. I said, let's do it. 12-month program. And it educated me on the mind like nothing else has. And that's what you're going to be learning here in this understanding the mind portion of me. So understanding the mind. One of my favorite quotes that I learned early on is by James Allen, and it says, "Mind is the master power that molds and makes, and man is mind, and evermore he takes the tool of thought, and shaping what he wills, brings forth 1,000 joys or 1,000 ills. He thinks in secret, and it comes to pass. Environment is but his looking glass." Ladies and gentlemen, everything is in the mind. Everything. Now, when you think of the mind, what do you think of? Because when we think in pictures. So what do you think of when you think of the mind?
The brain.
The brain? No. The thing is, the mind is not a thing. The mind is an activity. And in 1934, Dr. Thurman Fleet, he said, "The mind is an activity, not a thing. No one has ever seen the mind. And in order to gain clarity and eliminate confusion, I will create an image that we can work with." So here is the mind. It's separated into two parts, the conscious and subconscious. And there's the body, and that's you. Now the conscious mind is the thinking mind. That's your present awareness right now. It's the educated mind. It's where your higher mental faculties are. Imagination, intuition, memory, will, reason, perception. These are all things that separate us from the animal kingdom. The conscious mind has the ability to originate thought, and it can accept or reject. That's very important. It can accept or reject, and it consists of 5% of our behavior. 5% of our behavior is done with our conscious mind. Where's the other 95%? It's in our subconscious. It's the programs, the habits. Now, the subconscious is the emotional mind. It's the conditioned mind. It must accept. It cannot reject. It will take whatever you plant in it. It is unbiased. It's the habitual behavior, known as autopilot. And it cannot determine the difference between what's real or what's imagined. Like I said, if you come up here in your mind and you visualize yourself coming up here being calm, being confident, being comfortable, speaking, if you imagine that and you get here with your senses, you're hearing the laughter of the audience. You are actually creating those neurons, and your subconscious mind is believing that that is a real experience. And that consists of 95% of our behavior. And the body, the littler side of us, it's the instrument of the mind, the physical manifestation of the non-physical side of you. Everything's in the mind. Why are you getting the results that you're getting? That's what's going on in here. Now here you are today. You're conscious, subconscious, in the body. But you as a child, your conscious mind has not been developed. So that means all the information that's coming in is going into your subconscious. That's where beliefs are formed, ideas, the language that you speak. If you were a child and you were born here in San Diego and then shipped off to China, you grew up in an only Chinese-speaking household, you would be completely fluent in Chinese and have no idea about the English language. Because that is going straight into your subconscious mind. That's the only language that you know. The behaviors that you have, the mannerisms, the religion, the values and perceptions, all of this is being impressed on your subconscious mind. And that is who you are today, if you haven't dealt with those things. Now, paradigms. I mentioned that Darren, the consulting guy on the phone, is Tell me, oh, that's your paradigm. It's controlling you. What's this guy talking about? Get out of here. But our paradigms control all of our behavior. Our paradigm is a mental program that has almost exclusive control over all our habitual behavior. Remember, 95% of our behavior is done through our subconscious mind. It's a paradigm. And almost all of our behavior is habitual. So your paradigm acts as a cybernetic mechanism. Paradigms and cybernetics are both control systems and operate on essentially the same principle. Both maintain a definite course of action and will not deviate from the course that has been established. Remember, pair this with you and your that wall, I changed from worry, fear, and anxiety to belief in myself. I had faith and confidence. And look what happens. You push through that terror barrier. And there you are, speaking on a stage at the Grand Del Mar with that why idea. Now, I think like this, I feel like this, and I'm acting like this. And these are my results. I wasn't nervous today, maybe a little bit, but this is just what I do. I've accepted this. My paradigm has changed. I go to places and I speak. I'm the speaker. I'm totally comfortable with that now. That's why I'm here. The whole paradigm changed. And look, I'm in freedom from the old paradigm of not being able to publicly speak. 11 months ago, I was a different person. I couldn't stand here today and speak. I couldn't even go to Devonte's and speak in front of 10, 15 people. And this is what happens when you push through that terror barrier. You create belief in yourself, you have faith and confidence. Ladies and gentlemen, you can do anything that you want to do. Change the worry, fear, and anxiety for belief, faith, and confidence. You may be like, why?
I've died on stage many times. But on November 9th, I had a heart attack and literally died. They needed the paddles to bring me back to life. They brought my wife in to say goodbye. Not making this up. Since then, I've lost 30 pounds, and I only eat food that's good for me. I divided food into life or death. Everything falls into one of those two categories. Banana is life. Banana bread is death. Carrot is life. Carrot is really hard to do. But I weigh 180 pounds. I'm 64 years old. Something is going to get me. It's not going to be a heart attack. Make a decision. Michael's room holds.
We are here with Mr. Deli. Mr. Deli, can you please tell us what you thought about the event?
Oh, this is great. I mean, I totally agree what like the same mindset is key. So actually, recently I've been doing some mindset study. So if you know that the French philosopher, that's Descartes, he had the saying that can either go not. I think therefore I am.
I think therefore,
So people interpret that as existence, but I think it's something that mind determining what you want. I mean, the mindset is something you want. So what? Like for you, it's quite hard.
would you recommend this event to anyone?
Definitely, yes. So I learned so much, and then I tell other people to hear it, learn from it, to make change to their.
Okay. No, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, great.
All right, 10-second interview.
Thank you.
Picture.